The takeover is edging closer and closer, and Rangers fans could not be more welcoming of it. A rebuild is desperately needed in order to help the club restore back to its former glory, and the takeover will be the catalyst that makes it happen. In today's video, we have some huge news about interim manager Barry Ferguson amid takeover talks. We will look into this in today's video, whilst also going over all the latest Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. But first, Rangers legend Ali McCoist has publicly backed Frank Lampard as the ideal candidate to become the club's next permanent manager, as the Ibrox side continue their search for a successor to Philippe Clement. Clement was relieved of his duties last month after a string of disappointing results. Rangers are currently under the interim management of Barry Ferguson, a former captain, with his tenure expected to last until the end of the season. However, a takeover by a consortium backed by the San Francisco 49ers and businessman Andrew Kavanagh is in progress, with plans to secure a high-profile manager for the start of next season. Several names have been linked to the Ibrox job, including former Rangers manager Steven Gerrard, Russell Martin, and the experienced Rafa Benitez. But McCoist, a club icon both as a player and a former manager, has voiced his strong support for Frank Lampard. McCoist feels that Lampard, who was also considered before Clement's appointment, should be the man to lead the Glasgow Giants forward. Currently managing Coventry City and pushing for a spot in the Championship playoffs, Lampard has had prior stints managing Derby County, Chelsea and Everton, gaining valuable experience in English football. McCoist emphasised Lampard's potential during an interview. Rangers should have gone for Frank Lampard before he went to Coventry, McCoist said. I've been saying this for a while. He has that same hunger to succeed, much like Steven Gerrard did when he joined Rangers. I feel Lampard was overly criticised for his spells at Chelsea and Everton, and now he seems to have found his feet. I think he'd be a great fit for Rangers. Reflecting on the club's recent managerial decisions, McCoist admitted that Ferguson's interim appointment came as a surprise to many fans. Barry Ferguson's appointment surprised me. I thought it was left field. But as a Rangers supporter, I want him to do well. And while it surprised the rest of the fans too, we're all backing him. As for Philippe Clement, I wasn't shocked to see him go. Even though I thought his European results gave him a chance, losing to Queen's Park and Motherwell was unacceptable. Domestically, the team hasn't been good enough, and being so far behind Celtic in the league makes the sacking understandable. McCoist also acknowledged other potential candidates, mentioning that a return for Steven Gerrard wouldn't disappoint him. Steven knows the club well and has a point to prove. Rafa Benitez is another name in the mix, and Derek McInnes, who knows Rangers well, could also be a good choice, though the timing for him may have passed. He added, with new owners coming in, the Rangers job will be highly sought after. The challenge now is finding the right person to take the club forward. As Rangers look ahead, they face the immediate task of defending their 3-1 aggregate lead against Turkish side Fenerbahce in the Europa League's last 16. Should they progress, they will meet either Roma or Athletic Bilbao in the quarter-finals. However, their domestic form remains a concern, as they currently trail Celtic by 16 points in the Scottish Premiership with just 9 games remaining. The two Glasgow rivals are set to clash at Parkhead on Sunday, adding further significance to the managerial discussion surrounding the club. Now in some big Barry Ferguson news, Andrew Kavanagh is expected to return to Ibrox on Thursday to witness the second leg of Rangers' Europa League clash with Fenerbahce. While he won't confirm it publicly, the likelihood of him attending is strong, and the reason is clear. Kavanagh, soon to become Rangers' new owner, will be watching closely as caretaker manager Barry Ferguson is presented with a unique opportunity to prove himself as a serious contender for the permanent role. Ferguson's desire to become Rangers' next full-time manager is undeniable. The former Ibrox captain has the chance of a lifetime to stake his claim for the job, especially after last Thursday's dramatic Europa League victory over Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahce. That win served as Ferguson's announcement as a legitimate candidate. Kavanagh, who was in Istanbul to witness the impressive win firsthand, would have surely taken notice of Ferguson's tactical triumph against one of football's managerial greats. If Kavanagh returns to Glasgow for the second leg, he will experience Ibrox in full voice, on a night when the fans are likely to be buzzing with excitement. Ferguson has not only secured results, but has also started to rebuild the relationship between the club and its supporters. In January, Kavanagh saw the club at its lowest point, attending a match where fans protested during a 3-1 win over St Johnstone. But now, under Ferguson's leadership, that bond is being repaired, and Thursday night promises to showcase Rangers at their best. As Kavanagh's takeover nears completion, with the final legal details being examined, he may want to see this newfound energy at Ibrox up close. Should Ferguson lead Rangers past Fenerbahce and into the Europa League quarter-finals, his chances of securing the permanent role will be significantly boosted. If he follows that up with a strong showing in Sunday's Old Firm clash against Celtic, his case for staying in charge will only strengthen. Ferguson, however, remains humble and grounded. He's not one to speculate about his future or dream of securing the job. Instead, he's focused on the present, alongside his coaching team of Neil McCann, Billy Dodds, and Alan McGregor. Together, they've been tasked with reviving a club that had lost its way. Since returning, Ferguson and his staff have likely been shocked by the decline in standards at the club. The professionalism and work ethic that once defined Rangers have eroded over time, with things worsening during Philippe Clement's tenure. Ferguson's goal in the short term is to re-energize the club and re-establish the winning mentality that had been lost. This is a legacy he would be proud to leave behind, regardless of whether or not he secures the full-time role. What sets Ferguson and his team apart is their honest, no-nonsense approach. There's no fancy coaching jargon or complex presentations, just a gritty, straightforward style that resonates with the players and supporters alike. This authenticity is exactly what Rangers need after a series of poor managerial appointments. Of course, Ferguson's impact is limited by the squad he has inherited, and he won't have the opportunity to make major changes until the summer. Yet despite these constraints, he managed to outwit Mourinho in Istanbul, showcasing his tactical ability and leadership. If Ferguson can deliver a similar result at Ibrox on Thursday, he will guide Rangers into the Europa League quarter-finals and further bolster his credentials for the top job. Where Rangers go from here will ultimately be decided by Kavanagh, 49ers executive Parag Marath, and the incoming ownership group. But for now, Ferguson and his team have the chance to shape those decisions. After their impressive first leg performance against Fenerbahce, it would be unwise to underestimate them. Thursday night represents a critical moment for Ferguson and Rangers. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.